Okay, so it's time for another sit down and not a what are you doing Nintendo video, because that was actually before a direct, and we've just had a direct or direct, or however you want to pronounce the thing. And hey, classically trained, so been a Nintendo fan for a long time. And some people are all doom and gloom, like Switch Force is like, oh my god, there's no future after Pikmin 4. And then there's the opposite, Arlo's like, oh my god, Metroid Prime's out, so that means that Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3 are all coming out before Metroid Prime 4. And, I'm sort of somewhere in the middle. But, it is amazing how the direct is both an A and a C at the same time, and I'm going to explain why before we get into the future here. So, the direct in America, okay, starts with Pikmin 4, goes to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, Samba de Amigo Party Central, Fashion Dreamer, Dead Cells, Return to Castlevania, Tron Identity, Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective, Deca Police, Bayonetta Origins, Splatoon 3 DLC, and, well, Expansion Pass, whatever you want to call it, Disney Illusion Island, Fire Emblem Expansion Pass, Harmony, The Fall of Reverie, Octopath Traveler 2, Katamari, or We Love Katamari Remastered, Sea of Stars, Omega Strikers, Alien Odyssey, Origins Collection. I think I got that right. Everyone knows I can't write when I'm writing quickly, and it takes me forever to read it. Just ask students. And then Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Game Boy Nintendo Online, Game Boy Advance, Online plus Expansion Pass, Metroid Prime Remastered, Master Detective Archives, Rainco, Batten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster, Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, Professor Layton and the World of Steam, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 4, New Tracks Umberto, Minecraft Legends, Blanc, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, Have a Nice Death, World Baseball, whatever, E-Baseball, Power Pros, Disney Dreamlight Valley, New Realm, Tales of Symphonia Remaster, Tears of the Kingdom. Okay. Now, at the first watch, I thought the American Direct was a B, and then I was reading the notes on the train, and I'm like, wow, on paper, this is a total C. So, as always, I go home and watch the real Direct, and the Japanese version, and we'll notice some slight changes here. So, we start off with Pikmin 4, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC, Samba de Amigo Party Central, Fashion Designer. Then we get Disney Illusion Island, Octopath Traveler 2, Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, Bayonetta Origins, Deca Police, Splatoon 3 DLC. Then we get a completely new game, Natsumon, the 20th Century Natsuyasumi, and it's very Japanese. It's a summer game, or summer vacation game, but you can see it's starting to change and be totally different. 12 is the Fire Emblem Expansion Pass, 13 Omega Strikers, 14 We Love Katamari Remaster, 15 Marino Atelier Remake. So, the Atelier Remake. 16, Paranorma Site File 23. So, and that game looked really interesting. However, it was nowhere to be found in the American Direct. 17, we get Alien Odyssey Origins Collection, which is, of course, named differently here. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Okay, and then they go straight here. Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Metroid Prime, Master Detective Archives, Baten Kaitos, Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, Professor Layton in the World of Steam, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, yada yada yada. 26, Blanc. Okay, and then we go back to some shuffling. 27, Tales of Symphonia Remastered. Tales of the Symphonia Remastered. 28. Okay, bunch of Japanese only. Theatrhythm, Final Bar Line. So your Final Fantasy Square Enix Rhythm Game. That didn't appear in the US. Ark Survival Evolved. Rune Factory 3 Special. IB. Fatal Frame Zero. I think that's the Wii U version that they're remastering. The Mask. Something no comment. Then back up to some of the other ones. Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. Minecraft Legends. The WBSC eBaseball Power Pros. Probably under a different name. 36. Momotaro Dentetsu World. And as you know, the current Momotaro train game is very popular and is still in the top 10 on, what is it called, Famitsu sales. Spawnwave for the information there. 37, Iron Last, Tears of the Kingdom. And since I mentioned Tears of the Kingdom last, no. So, yeah, just a few different games and a rearranging of the actual presentation, and it goes from a C to an A. So the lesson to be learned is always watch the Japanese direct, unless you don't speak Japanese, and then, well, it's the same thing anyway. Mostly the same content is the point. But different content, better presentation, Japan wins hand down. Okay, now, as for the actual games themselves, Pikmin 4, July 21st, good. But, again, keep that in mind, because as far as first-party Nintendo game goes, that's where the doom and gloom comes in, because there's nothing after that, even though there is, but we're going to get to that. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC. Okay. So, yeah, Nintendo has succumbed. They're all on board with the DLC train now, and I just want a complete game. Like Metroid Dread was a complete game until they added stupid mode, finger poke of doom, one hit kill mode, and then they added an easy mode because people were bitching it was too hard. It's like, okay, well, it wasn't that hard, and we didn't need a super uber hard mode either. So the point is, I want a complete game. When the stuff goes offline in the future, and because it's old, and well, they're just gonna sell remakes anyway. But that's the industry as it is today. Samba de Amigo Party Central. Okay. That sounds good. The original game was fun, and I guess there was one on the Wii, so this is at least the 4th iteration of it. Fashion Dreamer, I got nothing negative to say about that. Some people want to design their own clothes and dress things up, so hey, I'm all for that. Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, and that is what I'm freaking talking about. Why isn't that a game by itself? Not to mention the fact that Konami isn't making it. It's the Dead Cells crew, which is fine. But like, why isn't that a game by itself? Why do they keep updating this old game? I just want the game to be complete. Dead Cells should be a complete game. Start a new product. Don't just keep shoving stuff onto the other thing. Oh. I mean, yeah, why not a Dead Cells 2 or Dead Cells Return to Castlevania. Release that as its own game instead of tacking it onto the original game. Whatever. Tron Identity, I guess that looked alright. So neither of those two games actually made the Japanese direct, if you were paying attention to reading the list. And, the missing games made it a much better direct for Japan. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective Deca Police, and I don't know what that is. Bayonetta Origins. Okay, some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it because it doesn't really look or feel like an actual Bayonetta game. Splatoon 3 DLC, and that's pretty much crap. They were saying it reskinned the main city, and then so it's a holdout while you wait for the main DLC, is what Switchforce was saying, I think. But again, why not just have the I don't know, whatever. I mean, if it's big enough to warrant DLC, it's okay. Like before Skyrim, Dawn Guard, and the Dragon one or whatever. The first DLC and the third DLC for Skyrim, they were totally worth the price of admission. But some crap like, we're going to jump down, Fire Emblem Expansion Pass. You get some new emblems and maybe 1 or 2 stages, again, until the final release or whatever, which is an actual story DLC. So it's crap. It's not worth it. And like we said, Nintendo's gone full on greed here and just trying to extend the life of games. And you don't need to artificially extend the life of games. If a game is good enough, you're going to want to replay it. You know, and it goes for both the live service games, where they just try to have a game go on forever, which is just stupid, because who wants to play the same game forever? If it's good enough, you'll come back to it. If not, go play the next better game. Since I have so many retro games, I'm in a luxury position. I can do both. I can go back and play some of the greatest games of all time, because they're good enough and they warrant an extra play. But I can still continue to play the other games that may or may not be worth an extra play, you know? The industry's gone to hell. Anyway, Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. I wrote What Is It? Did not make the Japanese direct. Octopath Traveler 2. Now that was down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14th in the US direct. And 6th in the Japanese direct. And obviously 6th is a much better position for as good as the other game was. Katamari. If you know what Katamari is, that's the same standard fare. You're just going to roll things, collect things, and get bigger. And if you played one, you kind of pretty much played them all. But it's good for people who haven't played it. Sea of Stars is a 16-bit RPG, August 29th. I don't know why that didn't make the Japanese direct, but it looks interesting. Maybe it's already RPG heavy. There were quite a few RPGs. Like DLCs, RPGs, and not too much Nintendo new content, honestly. Omega Strikers equals what? Oh, air hockey. Okay. Yeah, and that was another complaint. Like, why was there so much indie stuff in the main direct instead of actual Nintendo stuff? It could be alright. Alien Odyssey Origins collecting 3 games for the price of 1. You know, that could be alright. And Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Boot Camp was not even in the Japanese direct. So I don't know what's up with that, but honestly, you know, that some people were saying that they need to recreate the hype train, either Spawnwave or somebody, but and do you really? I mean, that's all the internet has talked about for the last years. Where's Advance Wars? What's gonna happen with Advance Wars? When are we getting out of Advance Wars limbo? And it's like, one, it's kind of still a niche genre, so who cares? And 2, they already released Fire Emblem last month, so there's your strategy game. But we finally got a release date, April 21st, so that's that. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. That looks really good. One, because I've heard it's great. Corey said it's a great game, if you remember from 31 Days of Kirby. Plus, it's got that new DLC, which actually makes it worth it. So, I guess it's better to not track down a Wii copy, which could get expensive, and to get that one that's in 2 weeks here. The Game Boy Advance, I mean, that's good for the people who want it. So, no complaints there. Metroid Prime Remaster, wow. I can't believe they actually shadow dropped the game. And then apparently February 22nd was not the shadow drop date. That was the physical in the US. 3/3 physical in Japan. And I mean, it looks really freaking good. They added, you should be able to control it probably 3 ways. I think the GameCube controls should still be there for those who want it. They should have the Wii, the new Wii controls, or whatever they call the Wii, I guess it's remaster for the Wii. And they said they added the dual analog stick controls for modern gamers and shooters, which is how I want to play Metroid Prime 3. But, and it's only 40 bones. Wow, it was 43.28 yen. So, totally worth the price. Even though I would have preferred an HD trilogy together, I guess this way they make $120 out of it instead of 60. But, yeah, that'll be cool. Master Detective Archives, Raincoat, okay, not interested. Batten Kaitos 1 and 2 HD Remaster. And I don't know why people are so excited about this, but then they're dissing card games at the same time. And this looks like a card game to me, so whatever. Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time, not really anything for me. Professor Layton and the World of Steam, and some people got super hyped for that, and it's just a crappy cinematic, not even gameplay, not even a major cinematic. He's just walking into the world, and that's the trailer. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 4, new tracks in Birdo. Okay, I guess we should have expected that, you know, because there's not going to be a direct in spring. And Minecraft Legends Blanc, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, Have a Nice Death. Nothing much to say about that. Don't want any of them. Even Mega Man. So that says that. The baseball game, Disney Dreamlight Valley, whatever, Tales of Symphonia, Tears of the Kingdom. And Tears of the Kingdom, so enough with the cinematics. Why didn't we get gameplay? Who, honestly, and you tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but who the hell wanted to just see another cinematic trailer for Tears of the Kingdom? Substance. Give us some substance. The Japanese games, some of them look very Japanese, but again, I think they made for a better direct. And Fatal Frame does have a Western following, so I don't know why that didn't make the Western directs. Although I haven't seen UK or whatever. Okay, so anyway, yeah. US Direct C, Japanese Direct A, and now for the doom and gloom, because there's no future. Oh my god. And well, if we are in a lull between the end of the Switch and the next new console, which has not been announced, then, I mean, you know, they are going to shift development, because Super Mario Odyssey 2 or the next Mario game or whatever it's going to be is most likely not going to be a Switch title. And they're thinking the Switch 2 is probably going to launch holiday 2024. So, if that's the case, then we've got, well, they say Pikmin 4 as the last major Nintendo release. At least that's announced. So, let's... The Wii was November, wasn't it? Not November. Yeah, November. Huh. Okay. So that's 16 months without games. But is it really? Because they did not announce Mario Sluggers, which receipts, go back to my video for predicting Nintendo's 2023 last year. Boom. Mario Sluggers. I said there was a tennis game, there was a soccer game, there's going to be the baseball game. I called that. And then just last month, rumors online, they're going to do Mario Baseball. I was like, I called that last year. Bayonetta I got off wrong by a couple of months. They actually moved that up to October. But anyway. Yeah, Metroid Prime 4 still not been announced. Again, if they go the Arlo route, then we do get Metroid Prime 2 and Metroid Prime 3 before Metroid Prime 4 releases next year. That could be... Is that a system seller though? It could be the bridge between the Switch and the new system. And that's another thing. Again, Switch Wars, he's going on and on and on about how Zelda always bridges the gaps because it did it GameCube to Wii, and Wii to Wii U, and Wii U to Switch. Only it didn't. It was not cross-gen between the Wii and the Wii U. It came out like an entire year later for the Wii U, so for Skyward Sword. But anyway, check your facts, people. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I called the HD remaster. We said I'd rather have the trilogy, but we'll see what happens. Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD Collection. That still hasn't shown up. You know that's out there. If the rumors are true. Again, don't put stock in rumors. F-Zero GX. We called that. And then the rumors started coming up. Did we call that? Or no, we asked for a new game. Or we asked for at least a remaster and then gave them ideas for a new game. But, yeah. So, what else? I can't really talk about one game that's still missing because that's 31 days in 2 weeks. But, obviously I'm expecting a game for that in the fall because I'm doing it in March, of course. What else? Yeah, so there's still some life left in the Switch, and there better be, because Nintendo has stated they want to sell 20 million systems this fiscal year. I don't know how they're going to do it, because Tears of the Kingdom, let's be generous and say that sells 5 million systems, and if, again, the leaked picture of the system is true, one, why didn't they announce it at the Direct? And two, is that going to get either enough people to upgrade to the OLED or enough Zelda fans to just buy another system? I would kind of fall into both of those categories, but, you know, 5 million systems is still a lot. And then they need 15 on top of that with what is currently not the best lineup available. F-Zero and Metroid Prime 4, Baseball, Pikmin 4, all the stuff that's announced or not unannounced. Is that really going to sell another 15 million systems? And I mean, yeah, they ghosted the Wii U, deemed it a failure, and delayed Breath of the Wild for an entire year just so it could launch with the Switch. Remember that. But they can't do that to the Switch because it sold so many copies. Or it sold so many systems. So, you know, Nintendo, I mean, fans are right to be trepidatious about the next year, or half a year to a year following Tears of the Kingdom. But I think there's still some big titles left to be announced. There's been rumors of Donkey Kong. Again, don't put any stock in rumors. I wonder if that would be the cross. No, it's Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever the next Mario game is. That's gonna be the next 3D Mario is gonna launch the new system. Mark my words. That might be cross-gen. That's possible. And who knows? I mean, they did sell. They're on poised. Yeah, they're poised to sell 1 billion pieces of software, which they've never done. So they don't want to alienate those who bought the games They don't want to alienate those who bought the systems, and they're just in a rough spot. It's aging hardware, as Review Tech always says, which is not a lie. And my beef is they always use the same crappy lighting system. And again, in Tears of the Kingdom, they've got the bad lighting system. I don't know what that washed out stuff is, but it worked in games like Kirby because it's supposed to be bright and vibrant and cute and stuff. But like every game, it's just bad lighting. You go outside and it's just not that bright. I mean, it's bright and there is some, washing out effect in real life, but not to the degree that Nintendo does with their lighting system. And I'm not asking for ray tracing like the PS5, but anyway. So, like we said, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's at least 4 major games that Nintendo has yet to announce that need to come out before the Switch can call it a day. Again, Metroid Prime 4, Mario Sluggers, Pikmin 4. What? No. Mario Sluggers, Metroid Prime 4, Wind Waker Twilight Princess HD Collection, F-Zero GX HD. Yeah. So, I mean, the Switch still has some life in it, but you gotta give us something else, Nintendo. If you want to sell, I said 15 million systems after Tears of the Kingdom, we do need a heavy hitter. It's not going to be the next Smash. It's not going to be the next Mario, because that's the next system. Although they could shock the world and make that their holiday release for this year. Who knows? Yeah, but anyway. Again, just some more transparency, Nintendo. That's what we're asking. I have no problem with $70 for Breath of the Wild. Not that I'm going to buy it, but... I mean, games in Japan have been as high as 8,000. Well, as high as 9,000 yen, but I saw PS2 games for 8,000 yen. So, if you're going to complain about $70 games, I just don't see that, because I've seen that for about 15 years or something. So, yeah, that's a non-issue for me. 60 frames per second, though, should have been standard across Gen 7, because Dance Dance Revolution was doing that for the PS2. So, I mean, you're arguing about that in Gen 8. And I think the industry kind of finally got their shit together in Gen 9, but anyway, whatever. The industry's a mess right now. More transparency, Nintendo. Less crappy DLC. If you're gonna make DLC of substance, like I think the first Fire Emblem Three Houses DLC was substantive. Breath of the Wild, I guess, was substantive. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is substantive. However, why didn't you just incorporate that into a Mario Kart 9, which could have been the big, huge fall game for this year? That would sell systems. That would have been your ticket to 20 million. But, okay. What do I know? I'm just a freaking sofa commentator, YouTube, and streamer, and who's been in the industry for, well, at least playing games since Ms. Pac-Man. So, what do I know from over 40 years of experience in the gaming industry? I don't know. As a consumer, and now, I think we said YouTuber, streamer, but whatever. I've been rambling for far too long. If you listened to all of this crap, thank you very much. Comment below what you think Nintendo's going to come up with for fall for their heavy hitter, so they can hit the 20 million, or if and when they're going to go to their next generation system. And yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.